You may be seated. Let us pray. Our Father and our Lord, we come today with hearts that are full of joy, for truly this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. We pause to ask your blessing on this commencement ceremony, on our President, Dr. Duranda Green, the Board of Governors, faculty, and staff, and most definitely on our graduates. We thank you for every graduate here today. Lord, you know the struggles that each graduate had to face and to make it to this point in their lives. But they made it. And in the words of Tavis Green, gospel artist, you made a way. I don't know how you did it. We thank you for helping to persevere and to overcome. We thank you for their support teams, parents, friends, and cheerleaders along the way. Thank you for the human angels who came along just when they needed some heavenly help. As I reflect on the song by singer-songwriter Alicia Keys, I can affirm that these graduates are on fire, and they're not backing down. So let the fire of purpose and destiny burn brightly within and around them. Let lives be ignited with the flame that is in their eyes. Lead them and guide them in their life journeys. And as they leave Bermuda College, let them take the lessons that they have learned while here, lessons in and out of the classroom, some framed by the pandemic and others that were not. In the name of our Lord, amen.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Dr. Osborne, for that prayer. Before I begin this afternoon, let me acknowledge the Premier, the Honorable David Burt, in his absence, and thank him for coming to meet with and congratulate our graduates earlier today. To the Minister of Education, the Honorable Diallo Rebane, Deputy Chair of the Board of Governors, Mr. Nasir Wade, who is filling in for the chairman who is unable to attend today's ceremony. Other board members, the Honorable Randolph Horton, Chairman of the Honorary Fellows, Commencement Speaker, Ms. Kristen White, Graduate Speaker, Ms. Soleil Graham, Munson Vincent University Representative, Ms. Cindy Hulin, Miami University Representative, Dr. Jason Abbott, Bermuda College employees, parents, family, friends, our virtual audience, and our special honorees this afternoon, the graduating class of 2022. Welcome to Bermuda College's first face-to-face commencement ceremony since the start of this pandemic. Required safety precautions and protocols notwithstanding, we are so glad to be under this big tent, even though it's a bit hot and humid, to salute and congratulate the 102 success stories of the class of 2022. Today we celebrate 93 BC graduates, 6 graduates from Munson Vincent University, and 3 from Miami University, our external program partners. 47% of our graduates have earned honors. 1 student, Isaiah Cabral, will be receiving 2 associate degrees this afternoon. There is a 16-year-old dual enrollment student by the name of Callan Richardson, earning his Associate in Science, Actuarial Science degree. And he will be transferring with advanced standing to St. John's University in the fall. Then we have our first graduate from our Associate in Science Pre-Med, another dual enrollment student, Soleil Graham, who is also our graduate speaker. And we also have our first Associate of Arts student concentrating in foreign language, Aliyah Lee. In this graduating class, you will also find stories about individuals who have overcome major health challenges and new mothers and single parents who have beat the odds. But most of all, in this class, you will have individuals who understand how to adapt, persevere, as they have made it to this date despite the challenges over the past 2 years. Last evening, we celebrated our most outstanding graduates at our award ceremony. So I would now ask those individuals that received awards last evening to please stand to be recognized. All last night's awardees, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. Congratulations on your outstanding achievements. You are the best of the best. Class of 2022, I realize that you could not have made it to today's ceremony without the support of your lecturers, faculty and staff, and administration here at the Bermuda College. So join me in thanking the dedicated and committed employees of Bermuda College for all that they have done to assist in successfully navigating you through Bermuda College and to today's event. Graduates, thank you for making the wise and economical decision and choosing Bermuda College as part of your educational journey. We consider it an honor to have played a part in this chapter of your success story. I know that behind every successful student, there is a strong support team. And today we salute your family, friends, and other supporters who stood by you and supported you in reaching this milestone. Graduates, please stand and join me in thanking them for their support and for being here to celebrate your success with you this afternoon. So please stand and acknowledge and thank your support systems. Turn around. You may be seated. Class of 2022, you have worked hard to make it to this milestone. You have overcome the challenges you have faced, but there is now a new challenge from confronting each of you. How will you successfully navigate your journey as new graduates with your newly acquired degrees, diplomas, and certificates in a post-pandemic world? Make no mistake, it is a world very different than it was pre-pandemic. It is most certainly a new frontier. Those of you intending to continue your studies overseas, you've got at least another 2 years of COVID adjustments and protocols to come to terms with at your new institution. However, I am confident that you will adapt, persevere, and succeed just like you have done here at the Bermuda College. For those of you who will be entering the workforce, what will you need to succeed as you navigate in this post-pandemic landscape? Let me share some thoughts about what I think will be important. First of all, you're going to need to be flexible, adaptable, and accepting of change. This means having an open mindset, fine-tuning your ability to prioritize tasks, and be willing, where possible, to take on additional responsibilities that will showcase your agility and your willingness and your willingness to try something new. You will need to keep functioning effectively even when you are forced out of your comfort zone. Number 2, be soft yet strong. Soft skills will be a must in this new world. In a recent survey of 107 organizations were asked how the pandemic had impacted their early career hires. 1 of 3 had actually changed their skill set requirements. Their preference had shifted to those candidates with good soft skills. Those with the right attitudes, self-motivation, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and an innate curiosity. You will also need to sharpen your digital skills. Just as many of us knew very little, if anything, about Zoom prior to March 2020, embrace new technologies. And if you want to catapult your profile above the rest, become proficient in coding, data mining, robotics, artificial intelligence, and any other new technology that arises. Most of all, don't stop learning. As Frederick Robertson said, instruction ends in the schoolroom, but education ends only with life. And finally, self-manage your own career. Be the captain of your own career and avoid the trap of passively waiting for your supervisor to give you challenging projects or to tell you what you should do to develop yourselves. Decide where you would like to go next in your career and then consider what steps you must take in order to get there and who can assist you along the way. Remember, no one can stop you but you. Class of 2022, we have given you what you'll need to be academically prepared for this next step in your higher education, and what you'll need to professionally be prepared to enter the workplace. But as you enter this post-pandemic world, your soft skills, digital skills, and determination will be just as important to your success. You can become the leaders of a bright but challenging world full of potential. Go and seize the opportunities that await you. We wish you Godspeed, and as you continue your path to success, thank you. I now have the honor of presenting the speaker for the 2022 Commencement Address, Ms. Kristen White, entrepreneur and community activist. Bio can be found in your program, but it would be remiss of me if I did not mention that she is an alumna of Bermuda College and a member of the class of 1999. Ms. White, I now invite you to address the Bermuda College graduating class of 2022 and their guest.
Thank you so much. I would like to dedicate this speech to my husband, Dwayne Dill. So in January, I received a message from me at my shop. I have a little shop in St. George's, so that's the number that everyone can reach me at. That's where I got a message left for me that the Bermuda College wanted me to speak at the winter commencement. And it took me a long time to call back. I can't remember what excuse I gave Dr. Green for why it took me so long to call back, but the actual reason I didn't call back right away is because I felt ill-equipped to give a speech to amazing graduates embarking on a new journey, feeling hopeful and joyful and ready to tackle the world, because I frankly did not feel any of those things. And I had to really consider if I wanted to do the speech before I called back. And that's not like me. Anybody that knows me knows I love talking. I literally talk for a living. And I've been on stages here and overseas for about 20 years now. As the program says, I consider myself a storyteller. And yeah, there was a lot going on where I didn't feel amazing, but it wasn't the first time that I haven't felt amazing before, but this time felt a little different. So there's been a lot of different times where I like a failure. I was pregnant at 15. I dropped out of university at 20. I even failed my driving test 3 times. And I've been in too many doomed political initiatives to count. I'm not even going to name them. If you read the news, you knew what they were. I've been publicly embarrassed and privately chastised several times and fall short all the time, as we all do. as a wife, a mother, a sister, a friend, an entrepreneur. Every person in here has had these moments of shame, regret, disappointment, fear, unsure of where to go next, what to do, helpless. I just personally hadn't felt all of those things at the same time in a really long time. But back in January, literally the same week that I was like, what is going on with my life? That was when I got the call about speaking at the winter commencement. And it just felt hopeless. I was worried about my business. Everyone was saying retail was dead, shop online instead. St. George's, we couldn't get confirmation if we were gonna have a ferry or was I gonna have customers that were gonna be coming to St. George's. In 2019, I launched a travel curation business, organizing tours for groups. I had a lot of trips that year, hosted with major influencers and social entrepreneurs that came to the island, had trips booked for 2020. Of course, that got canceled. Of course, also 2019 was the year that I decided I wasn't gonna do any other consulting work and was gonna focus just on my business, and I extended my retail store just as the world fell apart. So I'm trying to reschedule the trips, reschedule the tours, and it's just feeling so uncertain. And everyone that I'm speaking to is saying, they don't know how they can plan for large travel groups, they're not sure. So like many entrepreneurs on the island, I was struggling to see how I'd survive. With Social Justice Bermuda, we were so tired. We're members of this community just like you, so we're not immune to the things that everyone is going through. Many of us in the group have lost loved ones to COVID, to road accidents, to violence. Some have chronic illness. Some went through long periods of unemployment and financial uncertainty. As a country, I believe we are in grief. We are grieving, and it's hard for us to sit in that and feel that and still behave like it's business as usual. And also, I'm sorry to admit that I'm a doom scroller, a person that scrolls and reads all the bad news from every corner of the globe. I just can't look away. I know I should stop, but I'm just locusts. Yes, I'm gonna read about these locusts. Monkeypox today. I was like, okay, monkeypox is what we're dealing with now. One of my favorite poets, Warsan Shire, she has a part of a poem that says, later that night I held an atlas in my lap, ran my fingers across the whole world and whispered, where does it hurt? And it answered, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That's how I felt. And I was trying to balance all of this, and I felt like I was working really hard, and still not accomplishing anything. And I was struggling to feel upbeat. But I really wanted to give the speech, so I gave myself a pep talk, had this long period of reflection, called Dr. Green back, told her some slight untruth about why it took me so long to call back. And I said, I'd be happy to. And after all that back and forth, she gave the date I wasn't even available. I was like, well, that was a whole lot of emotional distress for no reason. But in any case, when I got the call this time, I accepted immediately. And if I think about it, not that much has changed with my circumstances. Yes, thankfully, it looks like St. George's will have a real tourism season this summer. First one since 2019. Thank you. But shipping costs are skyrocketing. Some of my friends who also have brick and mortar shops are having to close down. The world is still in an uncertain place. Did I mention the monkeypox thing? Yeah, But the reason I accepted it this time without hesitation is because the pep talk and reflection I did back in January, I've been going back to it ever since. So I wanted to share it with you, and maybe you can create your own version for the times when you're feeling less than amazing. And this pep talk, this reflection, is about reminding yourself of who you are. So usually, like I said, I feel more upbeat, have more clarity. I can look at my life and feel proud. But I've been struggling this year. And so when I was trying to think about if I would give the speech, I had to tell myself that I had to accept all of this as part of my story too. That I can't only highlight the parts of resilience and innovation and celebration, that I had to own the parts where I also felt unsure and had no answers. A lot of the times we see folks walking around, and we know everybody has stuff going on, right? But there's some folks that appear to have it all together, and we never see the rest. And that is inspiring. I have friends who are incredible mothers and wives, have incredible careers, fabulous shoes, great makeup, just perfect all the time. And I know, of course, that they're not. They're my friends, so I know they have other stuff going on. And there are times when I can go give a speech and things aren't perfect, but I can crack jokes, tell stories, and sort of dance around the full reality. But I didn't feel able to do that back in January. So I told myself then that if I hit that stage, I was going to be honest about the stuff that wasn't going great. We don't have to dump all of our sad stories on every person we meet, but we can certainly be honest about when we don't feel our best. We can own that story, because how good is a story really if the hero doesn't have a bad day or two? There will be times when you have to just move, just wake up and breathe and figure it out. Be the best person you can. Be the kindest person you can. Even if you're not 100% sure of where to go next, and even when you don't think the world is being kind to you, you have to face obstacles out of your control and find a way forward. And for me, how I did that, I had to hype myself up. I was like, remind myself of what I can do, what I have done. You are going to have to be your own hype man. You have to look in the mirror and say, I'm first name, last name. Mine, when I say it, has cursing in it, but yours don't have to, you know. Hype yourself up. List your accomplishments. You've spent the last few years of your life studying, working, overcoming obstacles, caring for your family in a pandemic. Like, hype yourself up. You did that. And there will be times when you have to remind yourself that you did that. Abolitionist and activist Sojourner Truth wrote a hype speech called, Ain't I a Woman? I have plowed and planted and gathered into bonds, and no man can head me. And so if it's good enough for Sojourner, it's good enough for us. Hype yourself up. And I love words, so I'm always grabbing a poem or a song or a motto. I'm a nerd, so I love a good little Latin motto. As a Barclayite, of course, I'm always like, yes, rusticate that for them, girl. Keep the air in view, girl. Let's go. Bermuda College, what? Magna mirabilia portendi, great and wondrous things are foretold. Sure are. Sure are. What's next for me? What's next for me? I'm about to go farther for runt, baby. I'm about to let the fates lead me, meet the obstacles head on, right? I'm about to do all that. You got to hype yourself up. And at the same time, I'm hyping myself up. I also gave myself permission to not do the speech. I was like, you have to give yourself grace. I had to give myself permission to say, no, thank you. I felt I would say no. I told myself I would say no if I really thought my energy and my vibe at the time was not going to be helpful to me or to you. So as I was helping myself up, like, yes, you could do this, girl. You could do this. I was also saying, but you don't have to. Gratitude is also another big one for me. I had to reconcile that I didn't have as much money as I thought I would, as much success, as much clarity. I was like, this feels mug. But I was like, if I just sit in this pity party, that's not going to help me. So I took a moment to count all the reasons I have to be grateful. For me, at the top of the list is Bermuda. I'm obsessed with Bermuda. Anybody that knows that about me knows I believe, I feel it was a gift for me to be born here. And not every gift is perfect when you receive it. Sometimes you have to exchange a color, you know. Bermuda is one of the great my family is all the Rock of Gibraltar. He stays stay. I'm like, son, he graduated from this school. My stepdaughters, my sisters, my parents, my friends who are my chosen family. I've got incredible friends. I thought about my health, especially the last 2 years, where we've all been concerned about health. Millions around the world have died. I lost 2 family members in the United States to COVID. And I was so happy to be able to breathe, to walk, ride bikes. I'm grateful that I'm healthy enough to do that. My heart. It's not always easy. If you're a person who cares deeply, that's not always easy. But I wouldn't change that either. So your list, even when you feel great, makes you feel grateful. I also realized I'm grateful for the possibilities of what's to come. It's clear. And the last 2 years, I felt large and impossible. For me, not in the best way. It seemed unreal. But I told myself that if we can live through the bad impossible, then surely there's also the other side, the good impossible. Those big dreams that seem impossible, seem too large. We've already experienced impossible over here. experiencing that seemed impossible could happen, that over here this can also happen. When the globe, I don't know, I was like, that's it. I was like, okay, all right. Mary Oliver, another of my favorite poets, said, when it's over, I want to say, all my life I ride marathon. I was taking the world in my arms. I don't want to make my life something particular and real. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. I want to know that sometimes scare even the ones you lay in bed and dream about. Let it fill you with wonder. It's been an honor to be here today, so I'm glad that Dr. Green called me again, which brings me to my final thought for when you're not feeling your best and you're worried about the future. What's meant for you cannot pass you by. For me, I once won an award. It had a list of nominees and people had to vote, and in the end I won. And I wasn't even on the list. I wasn't even nominated. My feelings hurt when I wasn't nominated. I was like, dang, okay. But then I won anyway, because what's meant for me is for me. What's meant for you cannot pass you by. It could seem gone. It might revisit in a different iteration. You have to work for it. But if it's for you, it's yours. You worked hard for today, so bask in the goodness of this moment. Not every day will feel like this. So open your pocket or your purse or your pouch and fill it with this celebratory air. Make a photo folder on your phone with pictures of today and of every moment in your life where you feel good, and revisit it. Fill it with those moments where you feel amazing and that can remind you that you're worthy and special and deserving of every good thing. And on that day in the future, when you need it, when you really need it, open that pocket, open those photos, and remember who you are. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can we have another round of applause for Kristen White? That was amazing. And now to the reason that we're here. Madam President, on the recommendation of the, let me start again. Graduating class of 2022, please rise and put on your sashes. Madam President, on the recommendation of the respective deans and directors, I present to you these students who, having satisfied their examiners and the requirements of the Bermuda College's Academic Council, are eligible to receive associate degrees, certificates, and diplomas.
On behalf of the Board of Governors and by the authority vested in the by the Bermuda College Act of 1974, I grant unto you your associate degrees, certificates, and diplomas for which you have qualified with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Graduates, please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Madam President, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of presenting the following graduates from the Division of Arts and Science. Morgan Donawa. These are all students from the Associate of Arts, Art and Design program.
Arlene Francis. Luke Hazelwood. Jordan Son with merit. Kamala Nasir with merit. Zeroy Rattery. Jessica Simmons. The following students are now graduates from the Associate of Arts program. Jalea Cheeseman with distinction. Naomi Fubler. Chelsea Haley with merit. Aaliyah Haywood with distinction. Kyra John. Aaliyah Lee with distinction. Aaliyah is also the recipient of the Most Outstanding Arts Graduate. Fawn Mills Trott. Peart with merit. Is also the recipient of the Distinguished Dean's Award. Jenna Riley, a January 22 graduate. Caleb Scott with distinction. and the most outstanding arts graduate. Simons. Justice Smith with merit. Zequela Trott. Eric Wallace. From the Associate of Arts Early Childhood Education Program, Nicole Brangman. Associate of Arts K.R. Bean. Jamari Menders. From the Associate of Science Program, Aaron Cardoza. Nicholas Davis. From the Associate of Science Actuarial Science Program, Rico Field Wade. Isaiah is also the recipient of the Most Outstanding Actuarial Science Student and the overall Most Outstanding Arts and Science Graduate. Congratulations. Helen Richardson with distinction. Malay Robinson with distinction. Malay is also the recipient of the Most Outstanding Education Graduate. President, that concludes the presentation of graduates, Division of Arts and Science.
Madam President, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of presenting the following graduates from the Division of Business, Hospitality, and Technical Education. Certificate for Accounting Technician, Joshe Butler. Certificate in Applied Science, Jaden Anderson, dual enrollment student with merit, and the recipient of the Most Outstanding in Computers and Programming Award. Jakai Barkley, dual enrollment student, and the recipient of the Most Outstanding in Electricity Electronics Award. Joshua Vera, dual enrollment student. Marcus Wade. Aaron White, dual enrollment student with distinction and the recipient of the Most Outstanding Graduate in Materials and Mechanics and Most Outstanding Applied Science Technology Graduate. Certificate for Electrical Wiring Technology, Justin Dean with merit. Jamal Harvey with distinction. Certificate in Heating, Ventilation, and Air Conditioning, Brian Haywood Smith. Certificate in Motor Vehicle Technology, Kiaje Simons. Certificate in Plumbing Technology, Zanike Hendrickson Mary.
Sebastian Wild with distinction. Diploma in Culinary Arts, Andalwa Ford with merit and the recipient of the Best Culinary Graduate Award. Righteous Simons, dual enrollment student. Diploma in Food and Beverage Management, Deontay Armstrong. Shazmir Simmons. Diploma in Plumbing Technology, Takai Bull, the most outstanding plumbing technology student. Winslow Williams with distinction. Associate of Applied Science, Culinary Arts, Ashante Farbin. Associate of Applied Science, Hospitality Management, Rade Bascom. Associate of Arts, Business Administration, Ilani Hacienda. Jacanta Barstow. Keyshawn Bean.
Rakai Burrows with merit, and the recipient of the Most Outstanding General Business Award. Isaiah Cabral with distinction, and the recipient of the CPA Shield for Most Outstanding Accountant and Finance Student. Kamala Cannonier with merit. Corey Cross. Jair Eve with merit. Amber Furtado with distinction, and the recipient of the Business Bermuda Award, Most Outstanding Management Student. Tanacia Hill. Rihanna Lima with distinction. Ryan Manders. Cara Moore. Erica Phillips Cheeseman with merit. Desiree Place with merit. Titafi Pringle. Jai Rattery Smith. I messed up the name. Jaya Rattery Smith. Amanda Richardson with merit.
Miguel Siemens with distinction and the recipient of the Dean's Award. Micah Skinner with merit. China Talbot with distinction. Vanessa Barrero. Thank you. Associate of Science, Computer Information Systems, Ziani Bergerson with distinction. Matthew Ivo. Josiah Johnson with distinction and the recipient of the Most Outstanding Information Technology Award. Jamori Richardson with merit. Madam President, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Division of Business, Hospitality, and Technical Education.
Madam President, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of presenting the following graduates from the Division of Nursing and Allied Health. Raleigh Mello, the Associate of Science, Nursing. Raleigh was also the recipient of Excellence in Clinical Nursing Practice. Judith Shakir with merit. Judith was also the recipient of Academic Achievement in Nursing. Charlie Lee Simons with merit. Charlie was also the recipient of the Impact Award. Rhonda Lynn Tacklin with distinction. Rhonda Lynn was also the recipient
of the Director of Nursing and Allied Health Leadership Award. Trot Murray. Wanda was also the recipient of the Impact Award. Science and pre-medical science. From the Division of Art Science, so an award from the Division of Nursing and Allied Health. Madam President, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Division of Nursing and Allied Health.
Mrs. Hewlett, I present to you the following students who have met the academic requirements as approved by the Senate of Mount St. Vincent University, have been awarded the Bachelor of Business Administration in association with Bermuda College. On behalf of the Chancellor and the Senate, and on the authority vested by the Senate of Mount St. Vincent, present you with the Bachelor of Business Administration in association with Bermuda College, for which you have qualified.
Mrs. Hewlett, I have the honor to present the following graduates of Mount St. Vincent Bachelor of Administration and Association College. Diana Wright. Mrs. Hewlett, that concludes the presentation with Mount St. Vincent University Association Bermuda College.
Dr. Abbott, I present to you the following students who have academic requirements approved by the graduate faculty of Miami University, have been awarded the Master of Education, Special Education in partnership with Bermuda College.
On behalf of the graduate faculty and the authority vested in me by Miami University, I present you with the Master of Education Special Education degree in which you have qualified.
Dr. Abbott, I have the honor to present the following graduates of Miami University's Master of Education in Special Education. Natasha Ball. Sierra Bediwete. Dr. Abbott, that concludes the presentation of graduates of Miami University.
Graduates, please rise. Move your tassels from right to left. You are now graduates of Bermuda College. Please be seated. I now present Ms. Soleil Graham, 2022 graduate, to give the graduate address. Her bio is in the program. Ms. Graham, I invite you to address your fellow graduates.
Protocol having already been established, good afternoon, everyone. If someone had told me when I first came to Bermuda in 2019 that I would be standing here in 3 years' time, I would never have believed them. I give thanks and the highest praise to my God, Jehovah God Almighty, for blessing me with this amazing gift. I thank the Barclay Institute for encouraging me to grasp this amazing opportunity. I thank Bermuda College for being so accommodating and accepting of Barclay and Cedar Birch dual enrollment students. I would also like to thank academic advisor, Dr. Osborne, for her continued support in my transition from high school to college level work and for her constant encouragement along the way. I would like to extend a special thanks to the most amazing parents in the world, my mom and dad. Thank you for inspiring me to be the best version of myself and for your amazing love. I would also like to thank all the lecturers whose efforts have helped to mold me into the successful young woman that I am today. I have gleaned from the knowledge of Mr. Ashby, Dr. Virgil, Dr. Tolaram, Dr. Faries, Mrs. Lightbourne, Mrs. Wade, Ms. Simmons, Mr. Wright, Dr. Jeffrey, and Dr. Harney. Thank you. I must also acknowledge and thank the lab technicians, Mrs. Hinton and Mrs. Hayward, for their supervision and assistance, and the custodian, Mr. Pacheco, for his warm smile and encouragement throughout the last year. Thank you very much. I will not in the slightest manner feign finding this experience to be an easy one. It was challenging, especially since it was done during the pandemic. It was a feat that required burning the midnight oil and stepping outside of my comfort zone. Had it not been for my God's everlasting and unfailing mercy and love, I would not have been able to complete 79 credit hours of mainly sciences. I would not have been able to carry 5 courses almost every semester and concurrently tend to my duties at the Barclay Institute. I would not have been able to deny myself certain temporary luxuries so that I could use the time to study instead, and I would not have been able to complete 6 courses during the last semester. No, I will not claim to have had that strength, but will profess that there is indeed a God who has never left my side. Being a dual enrollment student has been the highlight of my life. It has been an honor to represent my school on another campus and to expand my horizons. I still remember the Zoom meeting in which Dr. Osborne first introduced to the dual enrollment students the Moodle website. I remember it being that the word was like noodle, but with an M. We were also shown the student portal and other resources we would need in order to thrive. I also distinctly remember being told to click the current students tab because that's who we were. I was so excited to hear that. We had prepared for the college placement test and we gave it all we had. Hard work always pays off. It was an amazing feeling to be treated as an adult by everyone for a change. At the high school, we are treated as children, but at the college, we were both viewed and spoken to as competent adults. This afforded us a taste of independence and responsibility unlike anything we had ever experienced before. It allowed us to step outside of the limits within which our young ages had enclosed us and made room for the belief that we can do anything and that the sky is indeed the limit. Though it has been difficult, the daily challenges of finding that unique balance so that all assignments and duties are satisfied has perfected our time management skills. It has taught us to eliminate all distractions, and it has shown us how to, as the Barclay Institute's motto so beautifully puts it, respice finem, or keep the end in view. Bermuda College has successfully created a safe environment for its students. The faculty are both professional and approachable. The lecturers are always ready and willing to explain baffling concepts and to assist us when we do not understand. And the custodians are always working to maintain clean and pristine working spaces for both the lecturers and the students. The security guards are always at their posts and work diligently to ensure that those on campus have been and are being regularly tested so that the chances of acquiring the virus while on campus are close to zero. This sets our minds at ease and allows us to focus on the tasks at hand. Truly, the thought of possibly dying as a result of merely coming onto campus would have been horrifying. However, thanks to the diligence of the college, none of us were ever in that position. Yes, my life here at Bermuda College has truly been wonderful. Whenever I was on campus towards the end of the academic year, I often sat on the benches outside of the CLAS and enjoyed the pleasant greenery and singing of the birds. A student only had to take a look at the breathtaking surroundings to release some of his or her stress. Unfortunately, however, due to the pandemic, this was not always an option. Remote learning was a storm we all weathered successfully. Attempting to sign on to Zoom at the right time, waiting to be let into the meeting, suffering through lectures in which all but the lecturer is a black square on the screen, having to manage with unstable Wi-Fi that drops at the most inopportune time, and all the technical difficulties, such as mic and camera dysfunction, we have all experienced them. Nonetheless, we endured, we conquered, and most of all, we did it against all odds. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. It was not easy. The hybrid model also presented new forms of stress. Did I remember to schedule my COVID test? Did I forget to do the test? Will I need an antigen test? Will I be denied entry and automatically receive a 0 on my exam for a lack of said test? What if I test positive? These were common ponderings. Our weekly COVID tests became our passports to enter the campus. I am, nevertheless, grateful, as this provided us with Zoom relief and afforded us a taste of pre-pandemic life. Though most of us never experienced being fully in person, we were still able to achieve our anticipated grades. I, myself, met many a stress-filled day, but the Lord brought me through. And for that, I quote from 1 Corinthians chapter 29, verse 11. Thine, O Lord, is the goodness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty. For all that is in the heaven and in the earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom, O Lord, and thou art exalted as head above all. I would like to thank each member of the Spring 2022 graduating class for never giving up. Thank you for persevering when things got hard. Thank you for not accepting failure and mediocrity. Thank you for doing what had to be done. Whether you booked an office hour period with your lecturer, sought tutoring, asked a fellow classmate for assistance, or even just spent a few hours revising a concept until you mastered it, you have shown great resilience and determination. I am truly proud to be number one amongst you. No one can deny your efforts, hard work, and conscientiousness. Today, though it may be the end of the Bermuda College chapter of our lives, it is not the end, but just the beginning. We have each chosen our individual paths and are on various roads, all leading to the same destination of excellence. Though we may go our separate ways today and never see one another again, we take heart in the knowledge that we are all continuing to run our races and strive for our goals. Journeys are like skyscrapers in construction. We must aim to never forget the days when we make it to the top, for there is where the foundation was laid to support the achievement of our long-term goals. I must say, Bermuda College has laid a firm foundation. The college has transformed our lives through education. On it with confidence and continue to live our always on our path, never of others. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for, let's give her another round of applause. Myself, I'm a little challenge on music
was never my thing, but one thing I have learned today is that the graduates have inspired me to try and achieve the impossible, to try and go for things that I haven't done before. Afternoon to friends, family, faculty, staff. Today is truly a day of Thanksgiving. Today is truly a day of celebration. Last year was my first commencement, but it was nothing like this because I didn't get to see you all's beautiful faces. On behalf of the Board of Governors, I am humbled to present these last words on this gracious day. As I look out in the crowd, I see so many friends, family, teachers, people that inspired me to get to where I am. To the graduates today, please remember that today is just a stepping stone to your future. The future potential self that you can be. You're all great. You're all creatures of God. We all have our unique abilities. All have our critical paths to where we want to go. We are now in a world of transition. And, it's not even mine anymore. Robotics is taking over. However, the human spirit is strong. And that's what I see here today. I want to give thanks to the parents and support systems. Let's give them a round of applause. Earlier was mentioned about foundation. You cannot build a house foundation. And Bermuda College has presented foundation for each and every one of you. Continue to be lifelong learners. Continue to inspire others. Continue to work hard. Continue to try and achieve the impossible. I want to thank the support of the Bermuda government, coming from the Bermuda College, not just financially, but the college has grown from strength to strength, and we will continue to move forward. Our success is seeing each and every one of these graduates' success. That's how we measure our success. So continue on your path. I also want to give a heartfelt thank you from the Board of Governors to all support structures, not just faculty, staff, IT, everything. These last 2 years have been quite a challenge. You, the students, have pulled off something that no one has ever pulled off. A once in a 100-year pandemic. But you have showed tremendous work ethic, commitment, strength, resilience. And these are the things you're going to need in the future. I want to thank our education minister for being a beacon of support over the years. And we will continue to go from strength to strength. I want to thank the guest speakers for their words of wisdom and their words of personal journey. Kristen, thank you for that. We each have a journey to go on in life. We're always going to have ups and downs and challenges, but it's how we overcome those challenges. No man is a pebble by himself. No woman is a pebble by themselves. We need each other. I need you. You need me. And let's remember that. Kristen said something about doing your best or being your best. I learned something the other day about best. And her words of wisdom resonated with me because I always measured my best as my personal best. You know, I did track and field, so when I ran, I was always striving to hit that personal best every time. But one thing that the last 2 years have taught me is that sometimes your best means just giving all that you can in that moment. You know, you may be down on your health. You may be mentally stressed. You may have an assignment that was due. We've all been there. Doing your best means doing your best in that moment, doing your best in that time. If you've given all that you can in that moment, that is doing your best. That's as much as you can give. So to the graduates, always remember to strive to do your best in that moment. And sometimes that best may not live up to what you consider to be your personal best. How about you've given all that you can in that moment? At this time, I would like to welcome our guest speaker to the podium. Kristen, thank you for your words of encouragement, your personal journey that resonated, I'm sure, with all of us. And we would like to present you with this token of appreciation. To Soleil, please come forward. Thank you so much. Your words of spiritual godliness, we see where your foundation lies. And that strength will carry you through in the future, because we all need something to lean on when times are rough. And you have a rock in what you're leaning on. So I want to present you with this gift on behalf of the Board of Governors and the Bermuda College, and thank you very much. In closing, to the graduates, be bold, be powerful. Be bold, be powerful. It all lies within you. As you go on your next journey, remember, life is a bunch of steps towards the next milestone. So continue to set goals and continue to move every day towards your goals and your ambitions. Thank you very much. I now declare the proceedings closed, and I invite Ms. Barnett to give some instructions.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Because of the COVID environment, we are seeking to avoid the congestion of the typical pre-COVID behavior that happens after the recession and the graduates have left the tent. Then it's customary for everybody to swarm them with the presents and balloons and gifts and well wishes. And we understand that. However, like I said, because of the COVID environment, we're going to ask that all graduates, after you recess, to head straight to the steps there to my left for the official photograph of the cap tossing and just the official photograph of your graduation for spring 2022. Security officers will be helping and coordinating this, so please cooperate with their instructions and we should have it'll only be a few seconds, and we should be out and have you celebrating with your family as much as possible. And everyone else, please let the recessional take place. Let the graduates go out without swarming them. And graduates, please go straight over to the steps. We'll take the official photograph, and you'll be free to celebrate with your family and friends. Thank you.
Where to the way? Don't complain. Things nice, cause I just got paid. So it's going to be one. Cause when you